Okay, folks, it is time for the silver lining report. 2 weeks ago, I sent an email out and I said, send me your silver lining. Send me what you think the benefit is that you're seeing from this pandemic, how our life has changed. How are we benefiting from the changes? I got over 300 responses. It took me hours to sort through and tabulate them into 10 categories, which I'm going to give you right now. I'm going to start with the smallest, and we're going to go to the biggest benefit that you have told me. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we'll start the benefit roll. So just so you know, every cloud has a silver lining. You see that. That's where the saying comes from. You have a cloud and it's dark in the middle, but around the outside of the cloud is where the sun comes around it, and that is the silver lining. So the first benefit or silver lining we have is a new way to work and basically working from home. And 3% of the respondents said that this was a benefit they're seeing. And I think this is going to change things from this point on out, quite honestly. I think that a lot of jobs are going to have a home option that you can work from home a couple of days a week, come in the office. I think that's going to change a lot of things with commute times and all different aspects of life. I think that's going to be with us for a while. But it's also interesting. I thought this would have been higher, but 3%, that's the number. Okay, the next item up is government money, or you're saving money. There has been a financial benefit. And with the economy dumping like it has and nobody working, first of all, whoever thought we would have got money from the government? The money usually does not come this way. But saving money, I know myself, I'm not going out to eat. I usually burn a tank of gas in my car every week. I think I burned 1/8 of a tank of gas in 4 weeks. So I'm saving money on gas. I'm not going out to movies. I don't have time. I can't go any place and spend money. So I know, God knows we can't buy any toilet paper. They haven't seen any of that in the stores for 7 weeks. 5% of the people said that that was a benefit. Next item up, increased cleanliness, less pollution. Absolutely. 5% said this. I think everybody's more conscious of their own hygiene and how they would affect other people. And when we look at our skies now, because the cars and factories with what's typically happening is not dumping the pollutants into the air. There used to be this big gray area over China on a satellite map, and I understand that's all cleaned up now. So one of the benefits is increased cleanliness, less pollution. Next one up, a new or increased appreciation for normal. You know, what we used to take for granted, 5% of the people said this. You know, running out to the supermarket whenever we needed something and it was always there, being able to watch sports on television, get a haircut when we needed it. The things that were normal, we now appreciate because they're not so normal. There's a little scarcity in that. The next item up is reallocation of priorities and resources. 5% said this. We have like companies like Ford Motor Company have stepped up and they're making medical masks. We have all sorts of people making masks for those of us that aren't in the medical field, so we can walk around the neighborhoods. It's become a new sort of designer item on how nice is your face mask now. We have distilleries that are not making liquor, which is alcohol. They're making alcohol, which is hand sanitizer now. So one of the great benefits that people are saying is the reallocation of resources and priorities on what's important. More time and a better relationship with family. 6% of the people said this. I've seen this in my neighborhood. I've never seen families walking together in my neighborhood for the last 4 weeks, riding bikes, mom and dad, a couple kids and 2 dogs walking down the street. Talking to my friends, they said the kids are at home. They're having more time with their kids than they've ever had in their life. They're playing kickball in the front yard with them. Same thing, riding bikes around the neighborhood, helping them with their homework on their Zoom calls with their classes. So we have a huge benefit happening with the family dynamic. Communicating with more people. 9% people said that people are calling them they haven't heard from in sometimes years, or they're calling people, reaching out to people on a more frequent basis and communicating. Since we're all sort of isolated, it's great to basically get on the phone or get on the computer and say hi and talk and keep those friendships, you know, up. Next item up. Home repairs, catching up on the to-do list, fixing things around the house, cleaning out closets, the garage, bookcases, who knows? But I had a lot of people send in, that's one of the benefits that they've got. They're actually catching up on all the things they wanted to do around the house. And that's at 10% of the responses. The next one up here is greater sense of community, jumps to 15%. We're all sheltering in place. It's my understanding that downtown Los Angeles at 8 o'clock every morning, everybody opens their windows and rings bells or pounds on pots and makes noise so that everybody recognizes that they're there. And it's just something to sort of keep people cheerful. In Italy, we've had all sorts of reports in the news, people playing music from the balconies to entertain everybody on the street. And of course, we just have a sense for each other when we're walking around, making sure that our neighbors are okay. If somebody has a problem, that they are going to be okay. So there's a greater sense and responsibility. I think we've all seen the fact that we are in a community together. The next item is more time to do things I like, 18%. Now this, a lot of people said because they're not having to drive to work and drive home, that they can get their work done and then they can do things like read, play musical instruments, study different areas, knit, I don't know what they're doing, play cards, all the things they like to do, they have time to actually do that now. And the number one item, here's the number one item is learning and doing something new. 19% of the people that responded said that the big benefit they were getting out of this pandemic is they were learning something new. And I'll let you know that over half those were learning how to use Zoom or other online meeting applications so that they can communicate over the computer. A lot of people had never been in a situation that they had to do that and they weren't familiar with that technology. Now we see people coming on, and of course all of our meetings are that way. But this is something new. But people have also sent me emails, said that they're learning a new language, they're learning how to play a musical instrument, they're on YouTube or Netflix watching documentaries, learning about the World War II, the Civil War, learning about different aspects. So the idea that I have time to actually spend some time and learn something new has been a great silver lining. So with that, let's remember that there are always a silver lining to every cloud. And with that, I want to leave you with a special little treat. Right under this video, there's a link that says, "Bring Me Sunshine." And this is a musical group that are some friends of mine in the UK, and they did the video. I have 3 friends in the video that they made. I think this video, I think you're going to enjoy it. It speaks a lot to exactly what's going on today. And as I say, I'm not a big fan of a lot of negative news coming from the media. And I've harped on that a bit on my emails on a ratings revenue model that they promote a lot of danger and fear because that gets their ratings up. This video is a very fun video that speaks exactly to that. So with that, it brings me sunshine every time I watch it, and I hope it brings you some sunshine if you watch it right after this video. I'll see you next week.